Now, new Democratic Party leader and Canadian politician Jagmeet Singh demand for sanction on Indian diplomats. He said that the sanctions should be imposed on Indian diplomats, parroting Trudeau's claim of India's involvement in a killing of separatist terrorists.
I thank you for the opportunity to clarify. I mentioned very severe sanctions on Indian diplomats. Given the fact, let's just take a moment. We got the RCMP that said that Indian diplomats were hiring criminal elements to shoot at Canadians. I can't see why we would do anything other than put in place severe sanctions on those diplomats, on Indian diplomats. The Modi government has to be held to account, and we all need to be unified as Canadian leaders. All of us have to be united in denouncing Modi and making sure we protect Canadians and put their safety first and foremost.
Siddhant, we just heard the NDP head Jagmeet Singh right now, and he says that there should in fact be sanction against the Indian diplomats. The question is that, we have Indian side has provided so many evidences, but when it comes to the involvement of India, there has not been a single evidence that has been provided to us. And instead now they are calling sanction against Indian diplomats.
First of all, they're not very clear with what kind of sanction they are mulling to put on India. Because if it's going to be an economic sanction, which perhaps the foreign minister hinted about the other day, then it's going to be a big setback for the economy of Canada, because the Canadian economy is any which way bleeding. It's not in a good shape. So if the government is thinking of putting any kind of economic sanction, then it would be the setback for them only. Point number two, Mr. Jagmeet Singh is talking about sanctions on the diplomats, Indian diplomats. Perhaps he couldn't explain it in the press conference what exactly he is talking about. It was a very funny moment in his press conference. In fact, the journalist who attended his press conference bashed him because he wasn't clear what he is exactly demanding. So, even the journalists in Canada have now realized that this is all being done because of the politics of Mr. Jagmeet Singh and Mr. Trudeau, and also the influence of the Khalistani forces on the politics of Canada. That is why such bizarre claims, allegations, and RSS being dragged into the picture, etc., are being done, so that the entire atmosphere could get polarized. And because of the failure of the government, this is all being done so that Mr. Trudeau can remain on his chair, both as the leader of his party and as the Prime Minister of the country.
Well, thank you, Siddhant, for getting us all those updates and putting everything into perspective. Now let's move on to